Hey, so we've got this problem, and it wants us to use these two functions that they give us to find g of f of x and then find the domain of g of f of x. Right? So part A, we have f of x is equal to 2 times the square root of 3x plus 2 minus 3x plus 3. And we have g of x is equal to x plus 1. Alrighty. So g composed with f of x is g of f of x. So what this means is we have our g function, and everywhere we see an x, we're going to put the entire f of x function in there. So we're going to put it in here, we're going to put it in here. So this is g of 2 on the square root of 3x plus 2 minus 3x plus 3, which when we put it in our g of x function, we're going to get 2 on the square root of 3x plus 2 minus 3x plus 3 plus 1. The plus 1 is from right here. All right. So once we've done that, this plus 3 and plus 1 on the end are going to be 2 square root of 3x plus 2 minus 3x plus 4. All right. So this is our solution for part A. Now, for part B, we're trying to find the domain. So the domain is going to be negative infinity to infinity everywhere except for whenever we have square roots and we have 1 over x. All right? Or 1 over something with x's. So we have a square root here, so it's not going to be this. All right? So for square roots, we want the stuff on the inside to be greater than or equal to 0. Because if it's less than 0, it's a negative number. And if it's a negative number, we can't take the square root. So we want 3x plus 2 to be greater than or equal to 0. Right? This is the only part of our function that constricts it, because this can be anything. This could go from negative infinity to infinity. But right here, this has to be greater than or equal to 0. All right? So I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides. I get 3x is greater than or equal to 2. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. X has to be greater than or equal to 2/3. Ready? So then now I know that my domain goes from 2/3 to infinity. And this would be the domain of my function.